At the January 28th Sorghum U event in Perryton, Texas, Jason Frantz and Florentino Lopez provided a regional marketing outlook for sorghum producers. Frantz is the feed mill manager for Texas Farm, and Lopez serves as executive director to the United Sorghum Checkoff program.
Our message to sorghum producers is that we are an end user of the sorghum industry. We have been for a number of years, and we will continue to be here for the long haul, no matter what the market dictates, but we will be here as a place where they can go market their grain. And with our pricing options, they have options. They can lock in price before delivery. They can take a delivered price. If they want to lock out the price out in the future past delivery, that's an option as well. And mainly, we can lock in a minimum price when that comes across the scale and kind of take a risk away from them as well. And then we will take on that risk and give them a better price if the market dictates.
Without question, the key points of the marketing panel were not only really to necessarily give a better idea of what's taking place in the worldwide sorghum, looking at it from a demand situation, but also from a regional marketplace. You know, we had several end users that were here. They had an opportunity to share not only a little bit about what they do, but also how they utilize sorghum to benefit their end use. So it's important that a producer really has that understanding of how his sorghum is going to be utilized in the end, and have that ability to really try to develop those relationships with their end users so that hopefully they can get a little bit more money in the end. There's no question that the marketplace today is very different than it's been over the past 5, 6, even 10 years. We've had China recently that has entered the marketplace with just an unbelievable amount of demand. They've been on a 22-month run of purchasing sorghum. That sorghum has hit the ports with values on up to 140% the value of corn. As we've looked at that demand, in a typical market year, we always associate that 30 to 40% of the market will be on the export side. Here recently, of course, with China buying so much, we're really looking at up to 60, maybe even 75% when it's all said and done of the sorghum that's in production or was in production this past year that will go into the export market. So it definitely is a huge effect, not only for the producer that offers him more opportunity from a profitability standpoint, but also just the demand draw. So there's a lot of demand that's just not being filled today. One of the important roles of the checkoff is always looking at research, promotion, and information. That promotion side is really critical. So we work very closely with the U.S. Grains Council. We work very closely with the international offices, trying to discuss those advantages that sorghum brings to that end user, whether it's being utilized for ducks or whether it's going to be utilized in the ethanol industry and or in the liquor industry in the case of China. But we're constantly trying to find marketplaces. So, you know, one of the things that the checkoff is looking at is how do we source those marketplaces? How do we find maybe those marketplaces that haven't traditionally used sorghum? How do we enhance them so that they can do sorghum? And those that are utilizing sorghum, how do we help them to find better methods of utilizing it to where their incorporation rate or their inclusion rates can actually increase. So that's one of those constants that's going on. So not only is that from a research perspective, but also from just having that presence, having shoe leather, having that opportunity to go and visit with those end users and finding out how they can best use it. We're about bottlenecks. How do you remove those bottlenecks from those end users so that they can utilize more of a product that a farmer is developing on his farm that can go into the marketplace? That's really what we're concentrating on.
For more information, visit hbj.com/sorghumu.